Hey Eurovision fans, today I'm giving you my deep dive analysis of UMK 2025, that's Finland's national final. I'm going to give you my general thoughts, who I think can win, we'll look at my top 7 and your top 7, so let's kiki. Hi, my name is Tom, I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So I initially wrote this episode and I was going to film it on the night of January 21st. Thank God I didn't, because the S hit the fan on January 22nd when Puppy was disqualified. I'm not going to talk about that at length here because I already covered it in an emergency news episode. January 22nd is going to go down as one of the top 3 chaos days in Eurovision. We are down to 6 acts. Obviously, this changes what's going to happen in UMK dramatically. We'll talk about all that later. First of all, let's just talk a little bit about UMK and its structure. As you may know, UMK is one of my favorite national finals. I love how it's organized. I love how each person gets their own day to shine. They get their own music video. They get their own color palette. They get their own storyline. They get to be introduced and get the 100% full attention with the spotlight just on them. I absolutely love that. I'm not saying every national final has to do that, but this is one of the things that I enjoy about UMK that gives it a lot of character. We get to know these people. We build up so much hype for their songs. I feel like I'm opening an advent calendar every day, except instead of getting a chocolate, I'm getting some Finnish boppery that I'll most likely download. I love the innovation of the UMK team. Every artist has a music video. The music videos all have subtitles. All of their shows have English commentary. They've got this really iconic structure of having 7 songs, which really builds into the national finals identity. And then another really indicative thing for me is that last year we had Sergio Hayen, who's one of the big breakout stars of Eurovision 2024, doing Bambi Thug's incredible staging. Remember, Bambi Thug's national finals staging was pretty okay, and then Sergio Hayen and Bambi absolutely elevated the crap out of it. Everybody knows where they were when they saw those first 30 seconds of Bambi's clip, and it went from a borderline qualifier to a definite qualifier and top 10. And I was thinking afterwards, which country is going to have the initiative to reach out to him and say, I want to work with you next season. I want you on my national final. I want you in my team. Finland were the ones who reached out to him. Now, maybe some others did as well, and maybe Finland gave him the best offer, but it's not surprising to me that Finland were the ones who bagged this upcoming new artistic director talent. I don't think he has an official title yet, but he's basically working with the creative team. I don't think he's the head of it. I think he's just one of the people on the creative team. And I think we're going to see a really, really cool show this year because he's going to bring something really edgy. His staging with Bambi was mind-blowing. So that's a good indicator for me that UMK, they've got their finger on the pulse. They're innovating, coming up with new ideas. They're being a forefront of national finals, and I think they're a good example for everybody else, to be honest. Okay, so what are my general thoughts about UMK? I really love this year. I've downloaded 6 of the 7 songs. I had a couple of small comments from people saying, oh, you're maybe a little bit too overhyped. If you want to see me not hyped, go watch my Benidorm Fest video. I have 0 downloads from that. So it's not like I do this on all my national finals. If I did, I would agree that, yeah, it might come across as a bit forced. This is genuine hype. You saw my genuine excitement at opening those music video advent calendars every day. Just something I look forward to every evening. I filmed all the videos in the evening because I didn't want any spoilers. So I went into every single one completely fresh. I loved making the thumbnails for them as well. I got so much inspiration from the artist and the song that I would spend like 30 minutes on each thumbnail. I just love like making these like goofy digital kind of, I'm not going to say it's art, it's bad art. I'll call it art, but I'll call it bad art. But for me, it's fun. I like having that creative thing. I feel really inspired by UMK. I feel they put so much effort in and I kind of want to match that effort. I think some of the national finals are so half-assed. They're just like, here's all the songs, no music videos, no graphics, nothing. And UMK is trying so hard. I feel like, oh, I better like match their energy. So I'm a huge fan of this year. Pretty decent variety. We got an electrocore kind of rock song, which has been disqualified. We have an indie song. We've got a ballad. We've got mostly pop. But yeah, I think we've got like a pretty decent range. For me, it is January. January is UMK song releases now. And I hope that continues. I assume at some point UMK is going to start sucking. I hope that never happens. But until that happens, January is UMK month. Okay, before we talk about who can potentially win, let's just go into a tiny bit about the format of UMK in case you don't know. It is 75% televote, 25% jury. I believe it's the only national final that has that specific split. So televote points are worth 3 times more than the jury. It's actually technically a little bit more than 3 times because with the televote, theoretically, someone could get 100% of the televote, whereas you can't get 100% of the jury because the points are given to a minimum of 5 people. So actually, the televote is probably like 3.5 times the value of the jury because you can monopolize the televote. So jury being much less important, to me, it kind of feels like a tiebreaker. If there are 2 entries who are pretty close towards each other in the televote, I think then the jury is more relevant. Otherwise, I just don't think the jury actually counts. If you look at recent years and the scores, the winner's basically been decided by the televote. So the jury's kind of secondary. I think the jury is also there just to kind of advise Finnish people about what might happen in Eurovision, give them a little bit of a pre-warning. If it was 100% televote, theoretically, Finnish people could say, oh, well, we didn't know this would do bad with the jury. The 25% jury segment is a way of UMK saying, hey, just so you know, this is probably what's going to happen in Basel. The jury might bomb this, like they bombed Windows 95 Man, which is exactly what happened in Malmö. So the Finnish people can take that information or they can throw it in the bin. That's their decision to make. So that's really, really important for all of these artists going into their final performance. They need to be thinking, how am I going to get people to pick up the phone for me? What emotion am I trying to evoke out of them? Is it happiness? Is it laughter? Is it sadness? A memory of a loved one? They really need to bring out something. Okay, so who is going to win UMK 2025? Now, in my old video that I wrote, I was going to go into this agonizing tug of war between Puppy and Erika Wikman. It was going to be a gruesome battle for the ages, agonizing over small details of each song and looking through past patterns and all that. Now that Puppy's been disqualified, I really can't see any other winner of UMK 2025 than Erika Wikman Ikkoma. For me, this is just the absolute another clear favorite. Now, you know I don't mean any shade to the others. You know I love everyone in this contest. I've got 6 downloads. I really, really like this year. But for me, she's just on another level. She's in the Champions League. Everyone else is in the Premier League. You know, theoretically, there are some ways that she could slip up. Maybe her performance isn't great. Her vocals don't work. Maybe she could go too sexualized with the performance. I don't know. I felt like Cha 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 had a lot of sexuality in it as well. So did Windows 95 Man, and no one was really too bothered about that. So, and also last year, she performed Roska with Garia and she was dressed quite seductively and people didn't seem to mind that either. The song went to #1 in the charts. I don't get the impression that Finnish people are very easily offended. She's just got so many storylines. She's the biggest artist who's delivered. She's not a big artist who's coming with something crap. She's been in the contest before and she came second, so she's so close coming back for redemption. She'd be an epic first woman to represent Finland since 2018 Sour Alto, but it wouldn't be that she was given it. It would be that she's earned it, because this song already had a super huge amount of hype before One Morning Left were disqualified. So it's not a diversity hire, it is a Finnish woman stepping up to the plate and just being like completely and utterly epic and grabbing that ticket to Basel. So there's so many storylines with this. And again, it's about evoking emotion to get people to vote for you. I think there's so many choices there to pick from. Also, now that One Morning Left have been disqualified, I think Garia will be quite openly for Erika. Before, I think he might have had a little bit of a conflict, especially because of Johannes Naukkarinen, who was one of the songwriters on Puppy, who also wrote Cha 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 and Roska. He also wrote Espresso Macchiato, and last year he wrote Vox Populi. I feel like Garia wouldn't have wanted to go for one over the other, because obviously he's got this relationship with Erika Wikman, but then he's also got a relationship with Johannes as well. Now that Puppy is out, I can't see why he wouldn't just put all of his weight behind Erika Wikman. So this is another feather in the cap for Erika Wikman. Plus the fact she's a really experienced performer. We saw her last year with Voska. Looked so commanding on stage. Really, really cool visuals. I love the LED of her face on the back. And then she came out on the top of her stairs. Really cool makeup, styling. Great confidence. I love how she bends her legs and gets really, really just, you can see her dance background, because I believe she used to be the queen of Finnish tango. So she's a dancer as well. There's so many ducks lined up in a row. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible that somebody else wins, but for me, this is Erika Wikman's to lose. I hope that she comes on stage with a really cool, complete package. Again, she's going to be working with Sergio Hayen and the UMK team, who recently have done fantastic staging. I don't think they're going to push it too far. I think they're going to make some clever decisions, not go too over the top sexualized. I've seen some people who are a little bit upset with the topic of the song and how it was presented. So they want something a little bit more family friendly to go to Eurovision. So that might be something they need to consider. A lot of kids are watching Eurovision. That's just a reality. So you don't want to like completely exclude them. I think there's ways to portray it in a kind of fun innuendo way without isolating families. Can they find that like sweet middle spot? I think so. And I love how Ikkoma continues on Finland's identity of being a little bit crazy, a little bit party, but without being derivative or copying any of those previous entries. It has the same theme and heart of craziness, but it's a different sounding song. It's a different sounding artist. It looks different. It's got a different topic. It's so beautiful because it continues Finland's identity without getting into this like copy pattern. For example, Cyprus, every single year sending a very beautiful man or woman singing a pop song. It does well for them, but it is quite repetitive. This doesn't feel like they're just using a gimmick each year. The theme is crazy, but the presentation is a different type of crazy each year. I think it's such a perfect entry for Finland. Finnish people, you can do whatever the hell you want, but I think this can do really, really well at Eurovision. I think the juries can like it if she gets the staging to be family friendly enough. Talivot will love this because it's an epic song. It sounds different. It's huge. It's got grandiosity. She's going to be incredible on stage. She's going to be piercing the camera. She's going to be dancing. She's going to do something a little bit crazy, but not too naughty. I just think this has potential to be top 10, top 5. And if she does get top 5, this is the third top 6 finish for Finland in 4 years. That starts to put Finland in the category of Italy, Sweden, Ukraine in terms of average ranking. It's starting to put Finland in that top tier category of the countries who are in contention to win Eurovision every single year. You may remember as well from my puppy video that I showed that all of Finland's top 11 placings since 1990 have been non-conventional entries, so non-pop. Lordi winning in 2006, Soft Engine Something Better in 2014, Blind Channel in 2021, and then of course Gaia in 2023. Now, obviously Erica is pop, but this is not like conventional pop. Let's be real, this is pop with a lot more edge. Finland do the best when they serve something a little bit unconventional, and this is the most unconventional song in UMK. The best pop result since 1990 is 15th place in 1998. Edea singing Ava. Okay, but let's say theoretically Erica flops. She's not gonna flop, she's a queen. But let's just imagine a universe where that happens. Which of the other 5 are going to step up? I'm going to be so real with you for 15 seconds. I think that Kosti has absolutely zero shot of winning. I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean to him at all. He's got a good song. I know it's got some fans. But for me, this is just absolutely not in the same league as the women. I'm going to be even more real with you now. I think he was put in because they needed a guy. I think they made their shortlist. They saw that we've got Puppy, we've got 5 females, we've got 1 spot left. We need to put a solo male artist in. I literally think it was that simple. I've also heard that there was a Finnish folk artist who put in a song and got really, really good feedback from them. But then she got a phone call saying that she wasn't a fit or it wasn't a match this year, which for me, I think is code of we needed to put a boy in. So I'd be super, super surprised if he won. Fair play to him if he does win. Have to admit, some people say that Finland don't want to choose a woman. I think Gaia was the best. I thought Windows 95 Man was the best. I thought Blind Channel were the best. I thought all 3 of those stepped up to the plate and delivered the best UMK performance. Loved Sarsipala, but her performance wasn't perfect. So I agree with all the Finnish decisions. If they pick Kosti, I'm going to stop agreeing with Finns and say, okay, maybe it is just really difficult for a woman to win. It's not going to happen though. Finland's choosing a woman this year for the first time since 2018. I'm 99.9% sure. So if Erica's not in the picture, which of the other 4 ladies can win? I have absolutely no idea. Every time I think, okay, Nia, she's got a huge Eurovision following. She's got this epic club bop. People are going to love it. Then I think, oh yeah, but Vivi's got this beautiful sentimental song that Finnish people are going to play at weddings for the rest of their lives. But I'm like, oh yeah, but Nelly's song did so well in the Spotify charts. My reaction to her video did huge numbers. People really, really love this nostalgic feel. And then I'm like, oh yeah, but Goldilocks has got something so different. She's edgy. She's got a bit of indie feel. She looks and feels so different from everyone else in the contest. And I just keep going round in this circle of the other 4. I have absolutely no idea what order those other 4 are going to come in. Literally any combination makes sense to me. They are neck and neck and neck, which is really, really, really exciting. So my feelings about UMK is that Erica is going to romp to victory. There's going to be 4 ladies who are very close. I do think Kosti will probably come somewhere in the middle because I do feel like some of these male pop stars have very dedicated fan bases who will kind of vote for them quite intensely. But yeah, I don't know who's going to come second. And if one of those 4 ladies steps up and actually wins UMK, I'll be so happy with all 4 of them. I have to admit, I don't think those 4 songs can do as well in the Eurovision final. I see all 4 of them qualifying and then kind of being somewhere between 17th and 22nd. Whereas Erica, I think, has the potential to be top 10, top 5. Okay, and finally now let's look at my top 7. I was agonizing over this for so long, and in the end I decided to just go by my play count. As the only song I didn't download, my 7th place was Costi. My 6th place, which I have to emphasize I really like, I hate that I have to put this in 6th place out of 7, is Nelly Matula. In 5th place is The Disqualified Puppy. Again, really enjoyed this on my first reaction, but just listening to it, yeah, not as enjoyable to listen to on its own without any visuals, and also just lyrically, it's really weak. In 4th place, I have Nia River singing Nightmares. Really fun, I love listening to this in the gym. Great upbeat bop. Great way to open the UMK 2025 season. And she's been lovely on social media since she entered as well. I think she just got a record contract as well. 3rd place, only a couple listens more than Nia, was Vivi. Aina. I really love this when it dropped. So beautiful. I listened to it absolutely tons. Yeah, I think she's got something magical. She could maybe be one of those 4 who surprise if she manages to capture a demographic or generation who really wants something beautiful and timeless. She could do really well. Brings me to my final 2, and I agonized between these 2 phrases. And in the end, like I said, I went by my play count. So my number 2 is Erika Wikman singing Coma. I don't need to compliment this anymore. I did that earlier on in the video. This is super iconic. Although this is my 2nd place, I think this is the best choice to go to Eurovision by far. With all the current information that we have, obviously stagings could change everything. And that means that my number 1 is Goldilocks, Made Of. I put this on repeat, full on repeat, the second I finished that reaction. I am so frustrated that the final third of this song does not have a climax. It doesn't. Even despite that, I absolutely love the song. If it had a proper big climax swirl with ad-libs and good bigger vocals and everything, I would be like fizzing about this. So I feel a slight sense of frustration. I think maybe she doesn't have as much Eurovision songwriting awareness as I think Erica has. Erica really had a fantastic ending to her song. Amazing song, love it. Love this indie feel, love the music video, giving me Wes Anderson directed feelings. Adore this. I hope we keep getting one of these kind of cooler, edgier indie songs every year in UMK now. Okay, now I'm going to go to your top 7. I genuinely actually haven't looked at this yet, so you're going to see my live reaction. Okay, so my guess is that Erica will be first, Neo will be second, and then after that, I absolutely have no idea. I'm going to cover it up so I don't get spoilers. So in last place, you have Costi. In 6th place, One Morning Left, so kind of continuing on the tradition of Eurovision scoreboard hating men. In 5th place, we have Vivi. Oh wow, Vivi in 5th. Okay, that's lower than I thought. I thought she was going to be one of the fan contenders. In 4th place is Nelly Matula. 3rd place is Goldilocks. Okay, so Goldilocks is actually doing pretty well in the community. That's really cool to see. If Goldilocks wins, boy, would I be happy, especially since it means I'm going to start a campaign for her to revamp the last third of the song. So that means I can get like the proper version of the song that I want. In 2nd place, Nia River, absolutely zero surprise here. This song was written for Eurovision fans and they are delivering their love. And then in 1st place, only by around 780 points, is Erika Wikman. So maybe it might be closer. Keep in mind, Eurovision scoreboard skews heavily towards females and heavily towards high tempo. Erica's kind of that as well, but like Nia River is like the quintessential Eurovision scoreboard song. So the fact that she's in 2nd is actually probably a strong sign for Erika Wikman. In any case, I'm really happy with UMK this year. I'm very sure that Finland is going to continue on their 4 qualification streak. Keep in mind that between 2015 and 2019, Finland did not qualify 4 out of 5 times. And the one time they did qualify was in 10th place. So if you need any better example of the turnaround that UMK has had, incredible change around. Love it. This is how you revamp your system, elevate it, give it more prestige, and then better artists want to apply in. And then it's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy every year. So happy for Finland. Really excited for whatever they send to Basel. And I wish everybody luck because I really do like all the songs. That is my deep dive analysis of UMK. What did you think? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. No new donations on Buy Me Coffee or PayPal, but if you want to support the channel, I'll leave a QR code for you here. And of course, thank you to all my patrons for patronizing me from all around the world. On my Patreon, you can get some original audio, some early releases, you can be in the credits, and you can support the channel. So go check that out if you're a fan. But of course, thank you so much just for being here, and I hope to see you in another National Final Analysis video very soon. Goodbye. Blah, 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 blah.